A very good evening. You're watching India Today Go live on social media platforms. I'm Nabila Jamal. I give you the roundup of today's news. Let me start with a huge social media stir over the farmers' protest. We're looking at high-profile celebrities from the West like Rihanna, Mia Khalifa, who've now come out, Greta Thunberg, who've now come out in support of the farmers' agitation. They've put out tweets. In fact, Rihanna asked, why is there no discussion on this, on the farmers' agitation? She's received huge support on social media over this, but at the same time, she's also received quite a lot of backlash from the Twitterati as well as the Indian government. Now, the Indian government, the Ministry of External Affairs, has come out, slammed the celebrities, especially Rihanna and Greta Thunberg and even Mia Khalifa, for speaking up on the farmers' agitation without having clarity on the issue. In fact, the Ministry of External Affairs condemns the sensationalism that the celebrities are attaching to this farmers' stir, saying that people must be aware as to what really the farmers' laws speak of. In fact, MEA has also stressed upon the fact that the farmers' income will only be doubled, they will be uplifted. This is for better ecosystem of the farming community. Reforms are needed and whatnot. While the MEA clarifies on those on that front, here the MEA also slams celebrities not to sensationalize an agitation. We're already looking at people agitated along the border areas. Don't instigate them further. This is the MEA's claim. While you have several other celebrities. Now, let me tell you, hordes of celebrities from Bollywood have now come out, stepped up and spoken out in support of the government. In fact, Akshay Kumar now, Ajay Devgan, Karan Johar, you have Ekta Kapoor, Sunil Shetty, who've now put out tweets in support of the government and with hashtags India against propaganda, India together and whatnot. They've also hit out at celebrities from the West, asking them not to interfere while this is a matter which is being resolved by the government and this is more or less a propaganda. Now, these are celebrities, remember, who've not spoken a word so far when it comes to the farm laws, the farmers' agitation, the protest that's been on for 70 days at a stretch. Now, when the celebrities from the West are speaking out, we're looking at some support that the government is receiving from Bollywood. But of course, Bollywood is divided on this front. There are several other celebrities who are still in support of the farmers and against the farm laws and have been constantly from the start to today in support, tweeting out on social media. While you have Kangana Ranaut, of course, who's hit out at Rihanna, calling her a fool, saying that, and she also, Kangana Ranaut, in her tweet, while she hits out at Rihanna, also stresses that these are not farmers, these are terrorists who are protesting along the border areas. So this Twitter war has escalated with a lot of backlash. There's a lot of talk on the farmers' protest on social media now, with a lot of international entities keeping a close watch, a close eye on this. One should remember that there have been several demonstrations by Indians at parts of the United States. In Canada, of course, a huge population of the Sikh community who live there. Even in the United Kingdom, they've been protesting. People have held demonstrations constantly, every now and then, right in front of the Indian embassy, only to put pressure and make this an international issue. But India has maintained its stance time and again, calling this an internal matter, and they're trying to resolve it at their best. They've been saying this time and again, and now India not taking too well. In fact, has taken serious objection to celebrities from the West now putting out social media messages, while according to the government, they have absolutely no clue what they're talking about. We also had heard Sambit Patra just now condemning Rihanna, saying that she barely knows what essential commodities are, what kind of crops are grown in India, what kind of prices they get, what is MSP. She has no clue and she speaks out, and then you have Rahul Gandhi supporting it. So here we also heard Rahul Gandhi a little while ago speaking out again, saying that farmers are the backbone and they're the soft power in the country. They need to be supported instead of building walls. The government has to revoke the laws. Now, the same topic was also raised in the Rajya Sabha after a lot of ruckus. Finally, the Congress or rather the opposition parties and the ruling government have now come to an understanding that 14 hours will be given only to discuss the farm laws in the parliament. So we're looking forward to that. We're going to see how that pans out, because remember, just yesterday, both the Rajya Sabha and the Lok Sabha was adjourned with the opposition creating ruckus on discussion and demanding for a discussion on the farm laws. Now, like I said, Rihanna receiving support. Diljit Dosanjh has come out with a song called Riri, where he's singing praises of Rihanna because she commented on this farmers' agitation. He sang this song It's a 2-minute long song where he speaks about Rihanna's home country, Barbados, and about how she's an angel and whatnot. So Rihanna is also receiving support, while she's also receiving some resistance from the Bollywood community in India. Now, let me go over to a lot of talk on several social media accounts, particularly on Twitter, have been allegedly propagating hate, spreading fake news, and inciting this already agitated protesters. Now, here the central government has sent out a notice to Twitter asking them to comply with suspending accounts that have been spreading content which apparently has been, according to the government, has been allegedly misguiding people and spreading misinformation on farmers' genocide. Now, this is what the government says, that Twitter has to block these accounts. In fact, the government has also given Twitter a list of accounts, over 150 accounts, for Twitter to block them. But so far, Twitter hasn't conceded. They haven't blocked these accounts. In fact, the center also raked up the matter of Twitter's unilateral action. Twitter had initially blocked some of those accounts and then later unblocked those accounts. So the government has taken objection to this, that Twitter's action, despite giving accounts and the details of those accounts, Twitter has unblocked those accounts. And it appears that now the center wants to take up this matter quite seriously. The center has made it quite clear, if Twitter doesn't comply with the government's orders, then stringent penal action can be taken against Twitter. Remember, the government has warned Twitter against the motivated campaign to abuse, inflame, and create tension in the society on completely unsubstantiated grounds. This is the government's stance, while it asks Twitter to ensure and concede into blocking some of those accounts, the list of which has been given to Twitter already. Now, a huge crackdown that's underway, the Jan 26 violence, the Delhi police has already drawn out a list of people who are currently absconding, and those 84 of them who have already been arrested. Apart from that, Iqbal Singh, one man who's still on the run, is supposed to be the mastermind behind the Red Fort violence, where the crowd eventually vandalized property, landed up at the Red Fort and hoisted the Sikh flag. This man called Iqbal Singh is said to be the mastermind, according to the Delhi police sources. A cash reward of 50,000 rupees has been slapped against his name. And Deep Sidhu, who's also an actor turned activist, he's also on the run. He's evading police investigation, and now 1 lakh rupees has been given as reward for anybody giving details and whereabouts of Deep Sidhu as well. So an SI team has also now been set up by the police to investigate the matter further on the 26th of Jan violence. Meanwhile, Supreme Court has rejected pleas for an interrogation into the Jan 26th violence. This is the information that we got just a little while ago. Now, we're looking at the all right, let me shift focus here a little bit to Bengal politics. We're looking at the BJP all set to carry out a huge Rath Yatra, Parivartan Rath Yatra, across all 294 assembly constituencies in West Bengal, and the BJP has been asking for permission from the state. Mamata Banerjee has said very clearly, go to state authorities, as per process, they will give you permission to carry out the Rath Yatra. Now, sources tell us that there has been a case that's filed in Kolkata High Court objecting to this Yatra, and it appears that the BJP is already all charged up to fight this legally, saying that they're going to fight this and ensure that they get permission. Now, this is supposed to happen, Rath Yatra is supposed to happen on the 7th of Feb. It will be flagged off by JP Nadda. You have the Home Minister also going to be part of it. We believe that even Prime Minister Narendra Modi most likely will be part of this massive Rath Yatra, which will be across the state of West Bengal. It's a Parivartan Rath Yatra, which is scheduled on the 6th of January all the way to the 11th from Cooch Behar, West Bengal. Now, yeah, we're looking at Mamata Banerjee, while this happens, is already stepping up her attack against the government, saying that the BJP is greedy, they're corrupt, and that they're like a washing machine. Whoever has black money, they throw them into the BJP and they'll squeeze them out and they'll come out clean. That's like almost like while she hits out, she steps up her attack and says that BJP has been encouraging a lot of corrupt people to join them, those with black money, but then they project them as someone who's holier than thou. This is Mamata Banerjee's views. In fact, she's also lashed out at many of those TMC deserters. Remember, another MLA from the TMC has quit and joined the BJP, and she says that all those people, those traitors, don't have place in the party because tickets in the TMC is not for sale. Now, let's move over to Tamil Nadu. Here we're looking at huge developments ahead of Sasikala entering Tamil Nadu, entering Chennai. We believe that she's going to be entering Chennai on the 7th of Feb. She's currently in home isolation at a residence in Bengaluru after COVID. She's now, even before she comes in, we're looking at a lot of political stir within the state with AIADMK, who shut down Amma's memorial. Jayalalitha's memorial was opened up right on the day that Sasikala was released, almost like a statement that the party wanted to make. And now that Sasikala is released and she wants to come to Chennai on the 7th, AIADMK shut down that memorial, citing several works that has to still be completed at the back of reopening this memorial to public again. So it's closed to public. Will Sasikala be allowed as soon as she enters Tamil Nadu? That remains to be seen. In fact, it was sources close to Sasikala say that she's very keen on going and visiting the memorial. Remember, the memorials of Amma, be it Karunanidhi also, it's a huge symbolic symbolic form of politics. How do I say it? People there really believe in these memorials to an extent. They possibly go every evening to go pay their respects at the Amma Memorial or Karunanidhi's. It's almost a way of to show their love and their respect and their fondness to their leaders, their fond leaders, without whom this is the first time that Tamil Nadu is going into polls. Without their legendary icons, Jayalalitha, Karunanidhi, Tamil Nadu is now stepping into assembly polls. It's going to be very interesting to see how it pans out. So Sasikala now, even before she enters, AIADMK is now divided on whether to take her back or not, because on one hand you have AIADMK spokesperson speaking about how if TTV Dinakaran, who's Sasikala's nephew, if he apologizes, then they're very well willing to take him back. If not, then not. But on the other hand, you have Minister Jayakumar slamming this statement and saying that Sasikala will not be back into the party, and that whatever EPS and OPS say only stand valid. So don't listen to anybody else's comment. So it doesn't seem like AIADMK leaders themselves are on the same page when it comes to Sasikala, whether should they take her back or should they not. Now, the reason why they are vulnerable is because clearly Sasikala has the clout. She was known as a second Amma, almost an heir to Sasikala, to Jayalalitha, beg your pardon, and considering that she had that clout, she knew the inside out of the caste system of Tamil Nadu. She was really the mind, the brain behind the throne. She helped Jayalalitha through and through her political career. So knowing the dynamics of the politics in Tamil Nadu and also knowing every single detail about the AIADMK party, every single member, we're really interested to know how the AIADMK would take this, because as per surveys, we believe that the DMK has quite a chance this time. They are quite strong. They could come to power. So the AIADMK is trying to consolidate all power on all their votes just to ensure they put up a tough front. So will they be able to do it without Sasikala? That remains to be seen. A quick word on the aero show. It was an absolutely exciting affair. 3-day long aero show that took place in Bengaluru's Yalanka Air Base. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh was there. He signed the historic 48,000 crore deal for the indigenously developed light combat aircraft Tejas, which is India's very own combat aircraft. So it's a big push to Atmanirbhar India in the defence sector. The government has also ordered for 83 Tejas for the Indian Air Force, which is India's biggest defence push. In fact, Bengaluru's skies were abuzz. The aero show began the formation of 3 Rafale jets that was visible at the aero show. It was quite a sight to behold. This is the time that, in fact, Rafales took part for the first time, like I mentioned. Apart from that, Sukhoi 30 MKI, Jaguars, LCH, LCU, aerobatics team of the Surya Kiran and Sarang. It was quite a beautiful sight to witness and quite spectacular indeed. In fact, this time's aero show is shortened to 3 days instead of the traditional 5 days due to the whole COVID-19 pandemic. And of course, the public days have also been dropped in view of this pandemic. So that apart, the aero show went quite well. It was really exciting after this whole year of depressed scenes owing to the pandemic. Now let me quickly take you through some peace signs coming in from Pakistan. After getting a reply after every mischief and many international bodies condemning Pakistan's terror and violence that they breed, allegedly. Now Pakistan Army Chief has extended this hand of peace to resolve the Jammu and Kashmir issue. In fact, with all of these tensions, he said that 2 countries must resolve the long-standing issue in a dignified and a peaceful manner. This is Pakistan military chief's statement saying that India and Pakistan must resolve the issue between the two countries and bring this human tragedy to its logical end, logical conclusion. He's obviously referring to Pakistan occupied Kashmir. In fact, he maintained that Pakistan is a peace-loving country that has rendered great significance for religious and global peace. This is what Pakistan has said. And Bajwa's remarks comes right assuming significance as he is possibly hinting at the Pakistan stand on Jammu and Kashmir, Pakistan occupied Jammu and Kashmir. Are they really softening their stance on POK? It almost looks like that amid all this talk of peace that Pakistan is coming forward with. Let's hope that we are able to take back what's rightfully ours, what's rightfully part of Jammu and Kashmir and rightfully part of India. On that note, I would like to wrap here. I'd like you to be safe. The vaccination drive is on across India. Lakhs of people, close to half a crore people have already gotten vaccinated, healthcare and frontline professionals. And we're really hoping that the rest of India would get vaccinated at least in the next 2 to 3 months. That's the hope. Possibly vaccines like the Covishield will be out for commercial use, in the sense the public can access it, possibly will be in markets by end of Feb. That's what Serum Institute owner Radha Poonawalla has said. So we're hoping that life gets back to normal. Until then, don't let your guard down. Experts have also warned against complicity and not wearing a face mask and hand sanitizer, social distancing. It's still mandatory. You're still having reported infections being reported across the globe, and it's still serious in some cases. So don't take it too light. Ensure that you wear your mask, and that's the best social vaccine and your social defense. Thank you very much. Have a great day.